Hey folks, Curtis here. I stepped out in the garden or outside because I got on my mind trying to help people as they journey through maybe wanting to do herbs and herbal medicine or foraging food or living off the land, and the importance of herbs in your diet, the medicinal purpose that they can have, and how do you sort out the mess. And golly, here we go trying to do a beginner's lesson, or trying to just help people understand why they can help. You don't see a lot of doctors, some do, some don't, but a lot of doctors are not telling you that the herbs in your kitchen, many of the herbs in your kitchen, you're using for season: rosemary, turmeric. If I don't say these words, well, I'm not an expert in this, the words, but garlic and things like that you already have in your kitchen, your onions, can help you with your health if you will eat them. It'll help you with your cardiovascular system. So I'm going to kind of show you, I want to talk about what brought me into the journey. And I started out a couple years ago walking through the woods, taking pictures of plants. And to give you an example, I found my first lion's mane mushroom. And I found out that's highly edible. It's highly good for your brain. I learned how to cook it and prepare it, but you got to identify it. As a matter of fact, I found one this year, so I could show you a picture of that. But what I got into was taking some of these herbs and learning how to make a tea or an oil or a tincture. But I'm going to show you how it gets a little bit more complicated in the fact that you need to read a book, learn what each one, like you just gonna need to study like garlic and or study turmeric and learn what they're there for, how much to take, and why you need it. Okay, so if you don't want to spend your time reading the book, but you see an advertisement on TV or on Facebook that says this is the miracle tincture that we've made, you take 2 drops of this, it's going to solve all your problems. Folks, what they're saying may be true, but realize it's for a particular, each ingredient has a particular reason it works. Each herb does a particular function, and it needs to be formulated correctly. You also want to make sure that whoever's making it is making it clean and from organic sources. That's where we start branching out in the tree. Let me flip this. The tree, I'm starting to try to start with the foundation, but you got these roots going in the ground. These are foundational things to herbal medicines. And I've got out here some books that I started with. These are some top people in the industry, but like this book here, Herbal Medical Medicinal Herbs. And Rosemary Gladstar is one of those ladies that's been around this a long time. It talks about how to, you find it, identify it. Ginger, for instance. It's like you can go buy ginger in the store. Very powerful. You can grow it, but what you need to learn is you know, if the process in the garden is you grow it, you harvest it. This is all time element. Garlic. You know, these are just basics. These are things found. I roasted some garlic. Matter of fact, I just had a piece of garlic for heart health. They're antibiotic, blood pressure. It will tell you in a book why they're used, that particular thing. When you go to purchase a tea or you go to purchase a tincture, and what I'm talking about is here's basil, how you make a tea or make pills. You harvest it, you have to dry it. You dry a flower or a leaf, then you make a tincture like the elderberry. I'll give you just an example. I'm looking at growing elderberries. They cost a lot, like $14 for dried, but you need to know how to process it. For instance, you don't want to have the seed. You learn. I've made salves, tinctures, and let's just break this down to the herbal tea, right? An herbal tea. you can go buy packs of herbal tea that has things in it to help you with your UTI, urinary tract, to help your gut health, to help your digestive tract. It's already made, and it's probably going to be one of your cheapest ways to go about it. Which tea do you use? What company run an ad on Facebook and captured your mind? Where did Amazon site? People are posting this book on all these remedies. This is like medicine. My page blows up with this particular lady because I go to her. I've got 3 of her books: How to Forage Food and How to Survive Off the Land and What I Can Eat. You know, actually found that mushroom in Oklahoma. I haven't found in Mississippi. A very good mushroom. Anyway, this particular book is written by Jill Stansberry. It actually talks about the medical issue you might be having, circulatory, respiratory system. It'll give you the herbs, each herb that helps with that particular area. It has the scientific name, so you have to hear, you know, when you're reading in the article, for instance, if you have this condition, and if you're having a condition, I highly recommend a book like this so that you can understand your medical condition and how a particular herb, or like they're making a tincture there, that's a combination of all those herbs. Some of those may be garlic and some of it may be licorice root or marshmallow root, but that tincture is formulated based on information. It's based on what you're particular targeting it. There is no one tincture. There's no one fat loss pill. There's no one tincture. There's no one mineral pill that you take. Which when I just said the word minerals, the herbs can have certain minerals, but you need to supplement. Your supplement means to add to what you're ingesting, your food. So when we supplement, we are making sure that, you know, because making sure we have what our body needs. Okay? I'm going up this tree again. That's why it's difficult to start, but you start somewhere, you learn a little bit. But as we get people, like we start drinking teas with ginger and lemon balm and flowers that help us sleep, they're known for that property. Okay, if I turn around and I show you that magnolia tree out there, I can find in that book that the flower and in the leaves of the magnolia tree are actually good for you in some area. That you're looking at here is blackberries, the blackberry root and the blackberry leaves, plus the blackberry is good. And back over there, you can't really pick them out past that spot. That's a blueberry patch. Those all have medicinal properties. Those are just fruits. I was telling you, I was looking at the elderberry because of what it does for UTIs and all type of things, how it helps you. Do your research. Now, let's talk about the commercialization process and the manufacturing process or the marketing process. So as this becomes more popular, which this was kind of like a lost art, as it becomes more popular, you're going to have companies that are going to do these great advertisements. I mean, they're like the YouTubers, and they've got all the pictures and the back pain problems, and it's very, very influential. You're like, oh man, I got to have that. You know, I watched that video 3 times. I better order that particular one because they said it was like biblical. It was a godsend. Things like that. I myself felt like God was leading me to look at my body, but people will say, God sent this solution, this combination of this tincture, the Holy Spirit, and it put this doctor in my path, and it's, you know, you need to buy this product for $69 off of my Christian channel, because this was all God ordained. And a lot of that is, God told us in the Bible to look at the herbs, the frankincense, the myrrh. Those spices that were given to Jesus were for medical and health reasons. And some of those you could start burning on the incense altar and make a fragrant offering unto the Lord. And it also had the therapeutic essential oils or certain herbs burned will actually help you with respiratory tract problems. You make an essential oil out of the herbs, which is another art, and rub them on your body. They can help with headaches, and rosemary, thyme. I mean, there's our kitchen garden ingredients. The stuff you probably got in a bottle that you put in seasoned food with, but they're good for you. There you go, another branch that we can run down. Essential oils and olive oil and herbs. And so that's why when you start to try to have a talk about health and nutrition, you kind of almost have to go to one area. Why herbs? When I started my health journey, and companies that I dealt with put certain herbs like chlorella, I don't even know if I'm saying it right, spirella, if they put alpha lipoic acid in there, or if we're using collagen, the reason they're putting them in there is because they're supplementing. My food over there is where I've grown tomatoes, and this ground does not have the minerals it used to have. If the stuff is grown in a greenhouse, they are not amending the soil with a mineralized substance like asmarite. So if you're going to grow your garden, put your minerals in the ground, not just the NPK, not just fertilizer, mineralization, your calcium, your borons, the micronutrients need to be put in there. Now, if you had a regular garden spot out here, this weed, the dandelions and other weeds, put out a deeper root system than your plants. So Canadian lettuce and some of the stuff that you consider weed in your garden actually took up most of the minerals. They are mineral rich. You can eat the weeds. Find out which weeds you can eat. The dandelion root, dandelion flower is like mentioned through most of these books. How powerful are dandelions? Licorice root, marshmallow root, certain flowers. Like I said, the list is long, but look at each one, what it does. I have 5 books. There's 5 volumes in that book. What am I targeting? My mom's UTI, my friend's high blood pressure. I'm having throat pain. I literally can at least have a source from somebody that knows more than I do. It'd take me years to develop this, to find out. And then when I try to explain it to help other people, I have to use caution and say, try this, but let's try the basics. Let's try the garlic, let's try the onions, let's try the turmeric. You know, increase that in your system. When you go buying the pills and you buy the tinctures, you might be talking $16 for one of the tinctures, but you can take the recipe here and search on the internet for, I need something to help me with eyesight or respiratory problems or throat pain. So then somebody else has already grown all this stuff. They've done what I've done before and done a tincture and extracted from the turmeric. They've done an extraction, and then they make that solution much like a pharmaceutical thing. You know, we compounded it. But it takes a lot of time to grow the mushrooms or grow the flowers, then dry them, then put them in 6 weeks for a tincture. And in the meantime, you know, it's not summertime. I can't go plant my herb garden, which I'm prone to now. Go get herbal flowers. I can buy 10 seeds for these particular herbs that I don't have, and actually grow them in my garden be something I enjoy. But how much time does that take? How much time do you have, and how soon do you need it? You can go to Walmart and get herbal teas. That will help you sleep. And I you know, as you do your research and you know what ingredients are doing what, you can start picking those out. You can get on Amazon, find your herbal tea. Now, I do business, and I know the companies that I'm doing business with take due care to make sure that only the finest ingredients is put in there. And so there's several companies that do that. But I guarantee you, some of those companies are charging you $39 for a bottle when you can get it. So I'm about saving money too. $39 for a bottle when you can get the same thing at a cheaper price. If I go and I start planting an herb garden, I'll pay so much of this, then I'll have to go buy soil, then I'll have to harvest it when it's ripe, and then I have to go freeze dry it or dehydrate it, then I have to make an extraction. If that's a hobby, I could see myself doing it. But then if you don't know how to combine them together, learn, right? So it's been a hobby. As a business, finding the highest grade products already figured out. So I did all that. That's what I said. I said, Lord, help me just find a good company or a couple good companies that have all of what I need, that I can just, I can pay $14 or $18 for and have concentrated vegetables or concentrated super green, super reds. And I can just put it in a mix. And I don't have to go in there in the kitchen and cook up 5 bushels of vegetables to get the same concentration of vegetables. Now it's a different branch. What you're eating in your food. Staying away from the toxins in the box. Staying away from the nitrates in your processed meat. Those are toxins. If you eat that stuff, you need a detoxification herb or supplement to help you restore your gut, because the junk we've been putting in, gut health is very, very important. Probiotics. You're eating junk, help your system clean that junk out, and that's where the herbs come in again. I hope this helps. It's more. There's more, and there's plenty of videos done by a lot of people, and that's maybe where I need to do it. What's the benefit of a garlic? What's the benefit of, heck, here in Mississippi, we got kudzu root out there just growing, and nobody knows the benefit of it. And it's growing wild. It's a nuisance plant. It takes over all the trees, but a good kudzu root can be used for medicinal properties, and it's wild out here, free for available, and this is the season to go get you some. Make a starch out of it, a food thickener. If you want to harvest the root, squeeze out all the starch and follow the thing, maybe you don't have time for that. That's why I look for a company that I can trust, or I do my research and target a UTI like my mom's having, and try to get her on teas and things that I've read in a book that will help her and that I have seen results. You yourself have to believe it and do your own research and get involved with other people and start doing it, whether it's taking ginger tea or finding something at Walmart to help you sleep better. Sleep is important. There's too many areas of our life that these all come back, though. They're all connected, but you have to research it like that tree. Herbs, toxins, cardiovascular herbs. You're going out there and it seems like, oh my God, that's overwhelming. This is my pin oak tree. And how can I make it simple? I can't. Just know there's not one particular tincture or drop that makes miracles happen. We want a miracle drop that helps us lose weight. You will lose weight on it, but if you don't continue the process, as soon as you quit taking the drops, you gain back your weight. So you're going to be hooked on the miracle weight loss drops because we don't want to discipline ourselves or get in the habit of eating correctly to begin with. We're eating junk. I hope that helps. I'm going to quit at that. If you have questions, I'm probably going to post this on YouTube, but I hope it helps you understand what the heck I'm trying to explain that ain't simple, and I wish I could make it simple. I do just recommend start learning and start improving what you put in your mouth and watch your health change.